Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this episode of History and Now. Today we're going to be discussing the Long March. This year, once again, we have often heard the term Long March used by various political parties in Pakistan. In fact, the opposition has invoked this term since 1992 when calling for a public protest against the federal government. We've had the PPP Long March, the Long March for the restoration of the judiciary, the Pakistan Awami Tehreek Long March, the PTI Long Marches, and so on. We use this term without perhaps any understanding of the historical significance and cultural sensitivity of it. The Long March is the name given to the military maneuver and movement of the 1st, 2nd, and 4th Red Armies from their encircled bases in the Chinese Soviet Republic, the provinces of Jiangxi and Fujian, starting in October 1934 and fighting through the KMT lines to their final link-up in Shanxi in October 1935. This dangerous trek of many thousands of kilometers through enemy territory in the harsh winter across some of the most dangerous terrain in China was one of the most challenging episodes in the history of the Communist Party of China. The conditions and heavy fighting took a huge toll on both sides, and estimates put the death toll in the hundreds of thousands. A number of accounts state that 1/10 of the 100,000 strong force that left Jiangxi completed the Long March. The Long March began the ascent to unrivaled power of Chairman Mao Zedong, whose leadership during the retreat gained him the support of the members of the party and would cement the personal prestige of Chairman Mao and his supporters as the new leaders of the party in the subsequent decades. To put this into perspective, we need to look at the position of Chairman Mao in the year before the Long March. After the establishment of the Chinese Soviet Republic, Chairman Mao served as the head of state and head of government. The existence of the Chinese Soviet Republic became a major challenge for the Kuomintang, the KMT, government led by Chiang Kai-shek, which started a series of encirclement campaigns to isolate and destroy the Chinese Soviet Republic. The start of the military campaign resulted in the demotion or sidelining of Chairman Mao to a figurehead, while political and military power was entrusted to a new group of advisors sent by Moscow. This group, led by Bo Gu and Otto Braun, with the support of Wang Ming, successfully defended against the first 4 encirclement campaigns. However, the 5th campaign went badly for the Red Army, and the tactics employed by Otto Braun were heavily criticized by Chairman Mao and his allies. Zhou Enlai advocated for the return to leadership of Chairman Mao given his previous military success in battle against the KMT. In order to avoid their complete encirclement and possible destruction, the 1st Red Army was placed under the command of Chairman Mao. A risky but bold strategy of breaking through enemy lines and marching thousands of kilometers through enemy territory to link up with the 2nd and 4th Red Armies took the enemy by surprise. By the time the KMT reached the abandoned city of Fujian, the Red Army had a head start of almost 2 weeks. The discipline with which the almost 100,000 strong force operated in hostile conditions marked the ultimate display of Chairman Mao's military leadership. The 100,000 who escaped Shanxi headed to southern Hunan, first crossing the Xiang River after heavy fighting and then the Wu River in Guizhou, where they took Zani. In January 1935, Chairman Mao was confirmed as chairman of the Politburo and leader of the Communist Party and commander of the Red Army at the Zani Conference. From Zani, Chairman Mao led his troops to Laoshan Pass, where they faced armed opposition but successfully crossed the river. Chiang Kai-shek arrived in the area to take personal command of the KMT troops against Chairman Mao, but the communists outmaneuvered him and crossed the Jinsha River. Faced with the more difficult task of crossing the Dadu River, the Red Army under Chairman Mao managed it by fighting a battle over the Luding Bridge in May, thereby successfully capturing Luding. Marching through the mountain ranges around Minshan in Mokum, western Sichuan, the First Red Army linked up to the 50,000 strong Fourth Red Army of Zhang Guotao and together proceeded to Maogai and then Gansu. Jiang and Chairman Mao disagreed over what to do. Chairman Mao wished to proceed to Shanxi, while Jiang wanted to retreat east to Tibet or Sikkim, far from the KMT threat. It was agreed that they would go their separate ways, with Zhu Dei continuing with Zhang in the Fourth Red Army. Chairman Mao's forces proceeded north through hundreds of kilometers of grasslands, an area of quagmire where they were attacked by Manchu tribesmen and where many soldiers succumbed to famine and disease. Finally reaching Shanxi, the Red Army fought off both the KMT and a local cavalry militia before crossing the Min Mountains and Mount Liupan and reaching the Shenxi Soviet. Only 7,000 to 8,000 had survived from the original 100,000 strong force that had left Jiangxi 1 year earlier. The Fourth Red Army had barely survived its own march through Sichuan province, and after arriving in Shanxi, Zhu Dei paid tribute to Chairman Mao Zedong's decision-making and strategy and supported him for chairmanship of the military commission. The Long March cemented Chairman Mao's status as the dominant figure in the party, even though he would not officially become party chairman until 1943. In November 1935, shortly after settling in northern Shanxi, Chairman Mao officially took over Zhou Enlai's leading position in the Red Army. Following a major reshuffling of official roles, Chairman Mao became the chairman of the military commission, with Zhou Enlai and Deng Xiaoping as vice chairman. After Jiang Guotao reached Shanxi, Deng was replaced by Jiang. This marked Chairman Mao's position as the preeminent leader of the party, with Zhou Enlai in a position second to Chairman Mao. Both Chairman Mao and Zhou would retain their positions until their deaths in 1976. Hostilities ceased while the nationalists and Chinese communists formed a nominal alliance during the Second Sino-Japanese War from 1937 until 1945. During these years, the Communist Party of China persevered and strengthened its influence. The Red Army fought a disciplined and organized guerrilla campaign against better equipped Japanese forces, allowing it to gain experience. Following the end of World War II, the resurgent Communist 8th Route Army, a key constituent of the People's Liberation Army, returned to drive the Kuomintang, the KMT, out of mainland China to the island of Formosa, which is today referred to as the island of Taiwan. Since the establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949, the Long March has been glorified as an example of the Communist Party's strength and resilience. Even today, it holds a position of significant national, historical, and cultural importance. State authorities and state media invoke the spirit of the Long March to inspire and uplift the Chinese people. The New Long March has become another term for China's reforms, governance, and poverty alleviation attempts to industrialize China, to feed the largest population in the world, to catch up with the West, to reform the social economy, to send men into space, to engage with the 21st century. President Xi has said the Long March is ongoing and every generation should win the battle. Chinese citizens and foreign nationals have been known to retrace the route of the Long March, seeking inspiration from the sacrifice and fighting spirit of the Red Army. This is what the term Long March means. It is a call to achieve what is termed difficult or impossible. It is a call for a positive action to accomplish a goal or objective. Sadly, in our domestic language, we use the term Long March as a call to disorder, a show of force against a lawful and legitimate, even if unelected, government. There is no call to destiny or belief in our usage of this term, and we as a nation are poorer for it. Thank you for watching this episode. Please like, share, and comment below, and subscribe to the Pakistan Now channel. Until the next time, Khuda Hafiz.